The last time Bobby Lee was on the Impulsive podcast, he mentioned that he had signed his podcast, Tigerbelly, to a bigger company. And although he didn't say which company it was, a lot of people were speculating and even making jokes that it was either YMH Studios or Thick Boy Studios. But it wasn't until a few days ago that they officially pulled down all of the episodes from All Things Comedy website and now can be found on Wondery. And you might be thinking, what is Wondery and why them? And what's the motivation for making the move? And well, let's talk about it.
Bobby,
Yeah.
Did you break up with this girl live on the podcast? Because that's good material.
No, but we did address it on the podcast and we talk about it. And listen, we're best friends. We did this podcast 7-8 years ago. It's a success. We just signed to do it on a bigger company, and we moved on. And you know, it's a good business, but you know, you can still mindfully break up with somebody that you love with and still work with them and still have love.
Of course.
And all that resentment and anger, you deal with that as, you know, but I love her. I've loved all my girlfriends and I still have relationships with them. You know what I mean? If I was walking down the street and I saw any of my ex-girlfriends, I would hug them. How are you? I love you. You know, how things.
But my question is, surely there's some sort of tension or like chemistry.
Like if you're on the podcast and your guys
chemistry.
are sitting there, right? And you're talking about some deep fucking topic, like I don't even know, your favorite cheeseburger, right? In LA. And you say this joke and she's like, wow, Bobby, that one was such a zinger. And you look at it and you're like, yeah.
So why sign to a bigger company? Well, the most obvious answer would be for money, but I think this is very interesting, not only because of that, but even though Tigerbelly is not doing as good as Bad Friends podcast is with Andrew Santino, they are also not tanking like Trash Tuesday is. So in my opinion, it's the perfect time to secure the bag from a large company while they still have good numbers. Obviously, signing to a company like Wondery would make sure that they have a secure income, because recently YouTube has changed their policies when it comes to mature content. And to be fair to them, a few of their episodes have gotten age restricted lately, the most recent one being the one with Ari Shafir. So once again, by signing a deal to a company like Wondery, they can ensure that they get paid regardless of what their YouTube channel does.
This woman's trying to twist my mind. And I don't like it. Don't twist my mind. Now listen.
Do you know that we got age gated on YouTube?
What's age gated mean?
The Ari Shafir episode,
Yeah.
it was like the most regular, average Tigerbelly episode, I thought, and
It's because of him.
No, I think it's you.
It's because of him.
No, it's because of YouTube.
It was such a chill episode.
Yeah, I
but
thought so too.
Do you think his reputation have anything to do with it?
Oh, I don't know.
Remember the whole Kobe stuff?
when he has
and the-
3.9 million on his own
Of what?
video of him doing stand up.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know why we got age gated. They
Well,
said
maybe. How do you know he got age gated? I don't even know what age gated means. So explain
It
that to
means
me.
like you have to like sign in and like prove your age to even watch the episode.
I like when
So-
that happens.
like over 18.
I like
yeah,
when that
but
happens
what
because
happens is we had to put out a clean version of it, which is kind of, I think, because
Not
it's like
Tigerbelly.
this is us. We've always been this way.
No, well, I'm sorry. Well, you want to contact Elon Musk? I don't know who runs that thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
try.
did you
Bezos? I don't know. Somebody does it.
did Elon get back to you, by the way, about
No.
Twitter?
No. Well, I fucking reached out to Lex Friedman. So my Twitter is locked still
Yeah.
or hacked, and I went called.
So, what is Wondery? And I gotta be honest with you, before today, I have never heard of this company. I don't know who they were, but it turns out that they are a very large and successful podcast publishing company. It operates here in the States and also worldwide. And what's interesting is that even though it was founded in 2016, so fairly recently, it was bought by Amazon for $300 million to form part of their Amazon Music division. The company has continued to grow and is now the #2 podcast publisher in the world, right under iHeartRadio, with over 200 shows and over 160 million monthly downloads worldwide. So it's a huge platform, and in a way, Bobby Lee signing to them, it's a step up. And although we don't know what amount they're getting paid, I would assume that it's a very good deal.
Yeah, so that really made me sad. Like, even if he was searching for me today, he couldn't find me.
No, he can find you.
How?
You're famous.
No, but
You're famous in a world.
yeah, but if he's not in the comedy world, like, but it would be funny if he one day, like, someone is watching Tigerbelly or Trash Tuesday and he's like, Malaysia.
I assume everyone I know is not watching the stuff I do. It's like crazy.
Same.
The stuff I'm just
Same.
throwing out. I have no, I'm
Same.
like, oh, shit, are you watching this? My bad.
Well, you kind of can't really authentically do this job if you have in the back of your mind that people you know are watching.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard enough that my parents watch, and I have to know that. I try to forget that a lot. Lately, I've been good at it, talking about this. But you got to just pretend no
block
one
it
can
out.
see this.
You know, that's a really interesting thing that we do that might, like, I wonder how this plays out in 20 years. Like, when we look back, I'm like, those people were really good at pretending they were just in a room with each other. And yet they had a whole audience, like, kind of, you know, having thoughts about what we're saying. But we're so blocked off.
Well, I have to look at the camera to remember. I have to be like, guys, like there's another person here that's thousands of people. Do you know what I mean? Like I have to like look at the camera and be like, or it's done.
I think by looking at how Trash Tuesday is currently performing, you can get a good look at who is a real talent when it comes to Bobby Lee and Kalila. Because even though Kalila partnered with two established comedians, and one of them has been on the Joe Rogan Experience multiple times, their Trash Tuesday podcast it's now at their lowest point that it's ever been. Their last episode, posted about 2 days ago, has not passed 70,000 views, and their Social Blade stats for their YouTube channel is on the negative. For example, the podcast episode with the most views is the one with Bobby Lee. If you remember, that's the one where they explain how Kalila stopped Bobby Lee from doing a Jamie Foxx movie. Other than that, I think they've only been relevant because of the whole Brendan Schaub fallout, which they clearly started. Their podcast, Tigerbelly, on the other hand, is not really growing, and the fans are not the happiest about how things turned out with both of them after the breakup. However, if you take a look at Bad Friends podcast with Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee, they are completely killing it. Just on YouTube alone, they are completely killing it. Their numbers are great, and they are actually doing an official Bad Friends tour this year.
So Bad Friends just added a date. Go to badfriendspod.com. We're doing the Nashville Comedy Festival to start off our tour. It's the only date that we put up so far outside of the 3 that we're doing in February. So go to badfriendspod.com to see us. Come see us in Spokane, in Seattle, and Vancouver. And then we are going to be starting the Bad Friends tour out there in Nashville, baby, on 4/20. Badfriendspod.com is where you're going to get those tickets. And please watch Cheeseburger on Netflix now.
And just to give you an idea, this is the first date that they're doing, which is a theater with a capacity of like 2,800 people. That's amazing. So with that being said, Bobby Lee is and will continue to be okay financially, at least financially. But when it comes to Kalila, that's why I think they did that deal with Wondery, just to make sure that she has a financial security, some income, some type of income coming in, regardless of what their YouTube channel does in the future. They're likely just trying to get ahead of it and avoid what has happened to other podcasts like The Fighter and the Kid and Whitney Cummings' podcast, which are not doing the best recently. But that is all we have for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, dislike if you don't like the video, but that is all we have for today. See ya.